Everybody, grab your kettlebell. Of course, it's 7 a.m., so my neighbor is launching up his airplane slash truck. He just needs to learn to swing the kettlebells. So we didn't do this in class on Thursday, but there's one thing that's important is starting with the side plank on the bottom leg, pushing very hard. So that's what something we're gonna get in the squat is that glute medius, the knees prying open. And one thing I've noticed is I'll take a very wide squat stance because I have limited ankle mobility, but then I miss out on that drive, that outward drive, that outer part of the hip to really work. So even the outer hamstring, the bicep femoris, the glute medius are coming to play. You might notice a weakness there. You might feel more of a stretch on the inner hamstring or the groin when doing that. So we'll play around with that as we get into the workout. So that power cycle is going to be, a couple weeks ago we did power cleans. So there's going to be like a long cycle, where we swing the kettlebell, but it's all going to be power from the ground. It's all going to be squat instead of swings, which are hinges. Right, so it's all squat day. If you don't know squat, and I'm just explaining there, I'm always learning about new squats, new mechanics, foot positions. So just keep building on your knowledge. And just assume you don't know squat about squats, because it will help you squat. It will help your gut. So let's start with that. So I'm just gonna do 10 breaths. Left arm down, knee bent. It's actually cold today, so I'm breathing first, thinking about pressing into that ground, even if you can't lift up. Some people can't lift up because their shoulder is bad. Just prepare, just pressing that leg into the ground very hard. Don't think about, sometimes we relax the knee and I lift and I lose that engagement. It's more about driving, squeezing. Almost like I'm squeezing my elbow towards my knee. Breathing, filling up this cylinder. If you got it, you can squeeze hard enough where you can maintain that. Keep pressing that knee hard into the ground. You can press the other knee away. Sometimes that helps. Do a little clamshell. Make sure you're feeling that bottom hip working though. Pretend you're doing a squat. Opening up very hard. One more big breath. I wasn't counting. Oh, great. That might take some practice. It's okay if you don't feel that. Back this up a little bit. All right. So now right side down. Same thing. Even before you lift, take time to breathe. Breathe and brace. Kettlebell out of your way. Pushing the bottom knee hard into the ground. Try to feel the hip working even before you lift. And then pull into that. Keep pressing into that engagement. That'll help you, because a lot of people don't feel this at the top. Recruiting other muscles. So don't go to the clamshell. If that takes away that feeling, don't go there. If it builds on it, good. Do it. We do this with a band in class today, or just everything you do with a kettlebell. But even here, it's the intention that makes it hard. Warming up that glute medius. Good hip stabilizer for the squat. Keep breathing and bracing. This is part of the McGill Big 3. for lumbo-pelvic stability. Slowly lower down. Good. Oh. Yeah, the most important thing is that breath too. Breathe and brace. It's going to carry on through the rest of the workout. This wasn't on my list. I'm kind of going off as we go. But another way to practice some squats is just working here. It takes the ankle. You've got terrible ankles like me. Work on this position. So, squeezing. I can now spread. Just because I say spread, everyone like immediately widens their stance. Don't widen your stance. You're just grabbing the mat, pulling it apart. That helps. So now we got some resistance. Our knees aren't going any wider here. I'm just pressing. Pressing. And even if you're going to do a workout, you can do this with the kettlebell. Overhead position, whatever you want, goblet position, we're not there yet. But you can add that in. If you're trying to get those hips to do the work, and your ankles just aren't there yet. We'll be doing a lot of that next week too. We do a lot of hip thruster, glute bridge style movements. All right, so now, don't really grab your kettlebell, just have it, put it by one foot here. So what we're gonna do, whatever stance just feels comfortable right now. Going down to the squat, just kind of hold on just to help get you in there. What we're gonna do is lift one heel and then lift the other. Just rock. So one heel goes down, the other one lifts. Letting that knee track over the toes. And we're going to stretch the arms here too. So just holding onto this kettlebell, and I'm just going to reach towards the ceiling. The other side, just holding on. Don't fall backwards or anything. Reach, wake up that stiff body. Do some circles. Just the other side again. Get that hip to stretch. Good. One more time over here on the other side, whoever side you're on. Left or right. Ah, it's a bird. Whew. Okay, squats next. Just takes all those deadlifts we've been doing. Kettlebell swing even. We're taking that hinge. Go feet edges of the mat. Good hinge. Find that stretch in the hamstring. And then I'm going to open. Elbows on the inside. Wrap and squeeze. Do your inward anchor. Breathe and brace. Then outward anchor. Rock side to side. 3 more. Fall over. That's why you got your kettlebell there. It's a lifesaver. Good, good, good. Like that. All right. So let's do that one more time. Squatting. And then we're just going to raise one knee. Rocky, rocky, rocky. So we'll do some foundation training squats. We'll do some surf squats. So foundation training squat. Let's go a little more narrow than you're comfortable. It's probably comfortable for you. So think edges of the mat. I'm just not used to it. We're gonna breathe, we're gonna brace. We're gonna hinge just a little bit. Open up the hands. So as I squat, turning my feet out a little bit first. Make sure those are turned out. Hinged. Open up those knees. Spreading the floor apart. Just make sure the ball of the big toe is planted. Digging that in the mat. In class, we were lifting the toes to help us do that. Opening up. We're in this long wing position. As I squat, I scoop up to a very low sphere of tension. And it's not a deep squat at all. Opening up. Let's make some time under tension here. Come back out. Let's do 5 fast. Same thing here. Breathing in. Lifting the toes. Inhaling as we go. Timing it with the breath. So surf squat, we go a little bit wider. It's where I'm comfortable squatting. But then I don't get those glute medius muscles to fire as much. Add a little rotation with the surf squat. So let's just go into our squat. Right here. Then we get a little deep with it. The left thumb comes to the sternum. Right pinky, right ring, go to the left inner thigh, and I rotate like I'm on a surfboard. There's a little isometric between the hand and the leg. Let's go back up. Switch it up, right thumb, sternum, elbow pushes us across. You're surfing. Do some rapid ones. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. It's a burn. It's a burn. All right, let's do the primary workout here. I gotta raise this up. Well, I'm mainly in the squat, but there's a little overhead today. So, see how that looks. Yeah, you get all of me. So it's the power cycle. Get some water. Power cleaning. which means we're catching it in the squat, and I was really exaggerating. This is the kettlebells, just exaggerate the weight. If you got it, you can do the press. We're using the squat, drive the kettlebell overhead, and then even as I'm coming down, I squat and come back up before I put it down. So let's just show you, because that's probably easier to understand. Give myself a break. Again, I'm going to take this, we'll change it up as we go. We'll go narrow, mid, and wide. I don't know if we're going to get 3 rounds, but on Tuesday we will. I always say that. On Tuesday we did not make as many rounds as I thought we would. I think I did more rounds here. Making fun of my boys. If people did this Saturday thing with me, they'd be more prepared for Tuesday. Okay, that's the point of this. You're skimping. So I'm setting up strong stance here. Nice little squat, opening up, taking the tension out. Legs are kind of strong enough, the kettlebell free floats. I catch it in the rack. Think about that. You're just catching, receiving it. Not pulling it. I don't do any pull motion. It's all legs. There's a bit of a pull motion, but you understand my point. Then from the squat, driving that up overhead, pounding my ceiling. Even as I come down to receive it, I'm not just catching it there. I'm squatting to receive it, standing, squatting to put it back down. It's a lot of squatting. What do you expect? Switch hands. Right hand, doesn't matter which hand, are opening up. For me, this is a pretty narrow stance. For you, maybe not. Opening up doesn't feel very comfortable. It's forcing my knees to even go a little bit wider than my feet. I know that's something I always say, is make sure it goes over the 3rd toe. For this one, you're narrow. Yeah, if it's going more over the pinky, even a little bit wider, good. It's not going to break your ankles. So, open up. You can feel that stretching. So, power clean, catch it. Strong power from the ground. You push the ground away hard. Again, throwing that kettle up with your legs. Receiving with the squat. Squatting to bring it back down again. Like I said, 10 of these. Maybe 5. All right, guys. Mercy for a Saturday morning. I guess it's not so bad once you get rolling. That's 4. I don't know, probably confusing. Just squat. Every movement you do. 6. Rest up. Rest up too. 8. Ah, 10. So, this might not be in order because I'm going off memory. We might leave one out, but that's what Tuesday's for. If we get to this one anyways. The Bulgarian split squat, you have your foot up on something. If we do it on Tuesday, we're gonna use like yoga blocks. Shirley gave us a little box that can work good. But for now, I'm just gonna use one leg in a split stance. So, try to get most of my weight. If I'm here, my torso's up like this, be more 50-50. If I'm leaning over this front hip, you feel that stiffness, that's gonna work. So we're not going up very far. Just here, loading that hip. I said the knee and the kettlebell should come close to touching the mat at the same time. 5, and then you switch. Good. And other leg. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, then switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Whew. Then we're going to do our Cossack squat. So starting with the hinge, lateral hinge, and then we go here. So here's where we use the yoga blocks so you can tap the kettlebell down. You can get it, you got good hip mobility. I'm struggling. So just don't force it. If you're bending from your back, it's not the goal. It's the hips. So kettlebell's helping you keep that upright torso. So really wide for this one. So just grab it with 2 hands, get some water. Again, these might be all out of order. Forgive me. I knew if I ignored the little girl yelling neighbor, she would just go away. If I said hi, she would come over here. So I'm not an evil person. Maybe I am. Neighbor! Letting the shoulders go slack. We're not pulling up. Pull down, pack the lats tight. Big breath in. Little hinge. We're hinging a little bit. We're keeping that spine stiff though. And then make sure your feet are turned out. I always forget this. I'm used to foundation training. Turn the feet out. Spread the mat a little bit. Don't have to be crazy out. Just a little bit. Hinge first. We're hinging, lateral hinging. I don't know if you can see, yeah, my foot is down still. Then I'll hit this wall. I've pulled the hip back as far as it can go. Then I spin onto my heel. And I'm trying to hinge deeper at this socket. Back up. You're feeling that a lot in the knee. Keep reaching that hip behind you. So that's not what I'm talking about with the bend. Not bending at the waist, but I am doing this. Hinge, right? Hinging. Lateral hinging. Still hinging, but not bending. Okay? So reach that hip back. The knee goes forward as the hip reaches back. You're going to create load and tension on that hamstring. That's where you should kind of feel it. You feel a lot of things. Groin, all that good stuff. Especially on the opposite hamstring. I'm going to the right now, so you should feel the left getting a nice stretch as well. Finally, the airplane is taking off. You can hear myself think. I sat there and idled for this entire time. You just wasted more gas driving down this road than I've wasted all week. He's probably gonna start watching these videos and hate me. All right, nice and wide, feet turned out. Hinge first, lateral hinge second. Then we go into that squat. So lateral hinge mostly hip, a little bit of knee. Then as we turn, a lot of knee, but still fight to keep that hip back. Fight to keep your spine stiff. It's really easy to tap the kettlebell down. You're just tapping. You're using your hip to get it there. It's gonna be really slow. So we're just doing 6 of these. You're just pounding these out. You're, it's sloppy. Rather have a good slow 6 than 20 of these really fast. Breath up, hinge, Lateral hinge left. Deep, deep, deep. And maybe we're just stopping here. Maybe we don't have to go all the way. It's okay. I didn't touch the ground. No one's gonna die. You're not an underachiever. You're really not. I know what you're saying though. It's nice to have a target. It's nice to hit something. So you just know that you've gone a good depth. Hinge the hips back. Lateral hinge left. Really reach that hip back. If you're feeling that knee, sometimes I do on this left side. Really reach that hip back. Feeling all the pressure in the hip is where I want it. Hinge in the hips back. Lateral hinge to the right. Put it down. Nice hinge to put that down. Good. The last one is our squat swing. So this 5-5-5 thing right now. It's exactly what we did last week. You can do whatever stance you want. Most people feel more comfortable in a little bit wider stance. So 5 is 5 double-handed, and then 5 single-handed on each side. I'll remind you how we do this. We start with the kettlebell. Now there is a hinge in between every time you're swinging, you're hinging, but then you're going into the squat as the kettlebell reaches up. Hinging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your cardio portion for the week. Let's do those all again. So we'll do 2 rounds. I know you're tired, I'm tired. Go get yourself some coffee. We did narrow stance. I want to widen it up just a little bit, but don't lose that opening of the knees. Really keep that going here. Let's just get through this one. You know how it's done. Good squat. Open the knees up. Clean it. Press it. Receive it into the squat. Squat to put it down. So you could definitely do all on one side too. You really want to work out one arm. Oh, wrong, she's back. It's like 5 total on one side, 5 on the other side. I've not been counting either, so this is gonna be a guesstimate. Gauging on the burn in my legs. Feels very similar. Call it. Wherever you're at, call it. Let's do our split stance. Let's do a fun version. Just think about this because I showed somebody the other day. Kettlebell just moving in a figure 8 between your legs. If this confuses you, just do that. I guess it's 20. 20 total. 5 with each hand. But here I'm always staying in this hinge position, passing the kettlebell through each time. That's not okay. That's not fun. A patient that calls me doctor not fun now. I'm not fun to myself either. Whew. So Cossacks. Let's be entirely hypocritical and go faster. Let's try to get 10 though. Just so we can get the heck out of here, right? I understand. Hinge. Let's do a different position. We didn't do much goblet position today, so let's do that now. Here, handles on the chest. Also gonna keep your chest upright. Same exact mechanics. Nice and wide, hinging. If you have no pain, you can speed it up a notch. 2 more. Wherever you're at, 2 more. Squat time. Squat time. You're like, squat time? This has all been squats. You got this. I'll put a challenge out there to double this one up. What's up? You want to join?
Yeah, but it's Grace's birthday.
Yeah.
And we put up the wind up in the kitchen and in the dining room.
Let's talk. Let me just finish this video. Got people working out over here.
Grace's birthday.
Your shoes are on the wrong feet again. It's Grayson's birthday. Okay. Tell him happy birthday.
And he's gonna be wearing that.
10, 10, 10. Watch out, man. Swinging here.
And what?
10 with single hand. Woo. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna be 1 year old, huh?
Grace's be one.
How old are you?
No, Grace is.
I know, but how old are you? Ah.
It's not my birthday, it's Grace's birthday.
I know that. Good work, guys. I can't see.